Let's make some stuffed acorn squash that's perfect for these autumn evenings. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're going to make these delicious stuffed acorns because they are in season and they are delicious. So we're going to start, but the full recipe will be in a link in the details below. We're going to start with 1 whole onion that I've diced. We're just going to get that sauteing first, along with our mushrooms. And this is a cup, or maybe like a cup and a half of mushrooms that are also just chopped. I didn't really dice them that small. And I didn't add any oil to the pan, just like always, because as those mushrooms cook, they're going to release all of their juices, just like the onions, and that's going to keep them pretty basically from sticking. But if you have a problem with sticking, you can always add just a little bit of vegetable broth while you're cooking, just to keep it from sticking. So we're going to get those sauteing, and then we'll be on to other ingredients. All right, now we're going to add our garlic, and this is 3 cloves of garlic that's finely minced. I've got 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes that I've chopped really small, and 1/2 cup of red bell peppers, just chopped. You don't want those diced too small because you really kind of want to see that red. It's so beautiful. So we're just going to cook those for just a few minutes. But while these are cooking, I already prepped my acorn squashes. So I cut them in half, scooped out the seeds and the little string stuff, and put them open side down on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper, and put them in the oven on 400 degrees for 30 minutes. So while we're waiting for that, we're just going to get all these delicious veggies cooked, and then we'll get to stuffing. All right, now we're going to add our kale, but I'm going to add just a little bit of vegetable broth just to moisten this a little bit more, maybe less than 1/4 cup really. And then we're going to add our kale. This is 2 cups of diced kale or chopped kale. And really, we're just going to cook this for a couple minutes just to kind of wilt it. We don't really want to well cook it because it's still going in the oven for another step. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. All right, so now we're going to mix these things together. I'm going to put this in a bowl just so we can mix it a little easier. And then I've got 1 cup of cooked brown rice. This is a brown basmati rice. And 1 cup of black lentils, but you can use whatever lentils you like, brown lentils or even French green. They're all delicious. I just prefer these black ones because they're a little peppery. It's a great flavor. Then 1½ tablespoons of a low sodium tamari, and then some cracked pepper. So I'm just going to stir that together. All right, so now all that's left is to grab my acorn squashes, and then we'll get to stuffing. Okay, our acorn squashes are done. So you just need to flip them over. Ooh, still pretty hot. Oh, look at that. The smell of that squash is so delicious. So now you're just going to stuff them, and you're going to fill them pretty full. You want a pretty nice mound, just so you get plenty of this stuffing per scoop of squash when you're eating. And this will make 4, or this is 2 squashes, but 4 servings. All right, just like that. I'm gonna finish stuffing these and then I'm gonna get them into the oven on 350 for 15 minutes. Okay, our acorn squashes are done. If you want to come in for a closer look, these are great just like this, but really to put them all over the top, we're gonna make our lemon tahini dressing because it's amazing poured over these guys. I've got 2 tablespoons of tahini, 4 deglette dates, and if you're using medjool, just do 2. And 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And a half a cup of water. Super, super simple. So now we're just gonna blend it in our blender until those dates are completely pulverized. All right, there we go. Super, super simple. So now all that's left is to let these cool for a few minutes and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. All right, guys, let's dig in. Pour some of this tahini dressing on there. Ooh-wee. So good. Come on back next week for another great recipe.